Believe it or not, that is a right-handed putter. Why have they put the shaft in this way around? What is going on? Why have they used this material? What the hell? I have to say, I do quite like the look of that grip. I'm a bit surprised but there's a few questions I've got to get answered today. Now, the reason why I've got this putter, I saw it on social media and straight away I was like, that is odd. Like, I've tested some odd putters. I've tested a carbon putter, I've tested a spoiler putter, and I have to say, up until now, I didn't think anything can get any stranger until this. Now, this is not from a big brand like your Odyssey, your Callaway, even your L.A.B. It's from REAPER Golf. Now, I know you'll have never heard of this. I want you to just think, look at this. Just look at it. And I'm also going to go through some of the comments that I found online. And considering the price point, I'm not saying that's high or low right now, people can be very critical of not big branded putters. So I'm really interested to see what the census is on this. I've only seen half the story. I think this is brass, which actually is reminding me of the ping putters in the past, the original ping putters. Stand me corrected here if I'm wrong on that. I think they were made of brass, but look at it, like at Halloween. Look at that. So the idea is, look at that. I'm putting towards you. Look at that shaft placement. Now, as soon as I look at this, I'm thinking, how do you line that up? How do you know where your hands should be? There's actually a few sort of crossovers with other putters that I've seen in the past too. Just look at that. Now, I have to say, it does feel very well made. Start with the head cover. Now, it's really quite nicely well made, and you get a couple of magnets in there. So check. I like that. Then let's move into the grip here. It's like, where I describe it, it's like bobbly. Like it's almost like little grippers for your hand on it. And I really actually quite like this design. It sort of fits quite nicely in with the brand, and it's thick but not over thick. And I do like how it's kind of nicely in your top hand here. Now look at that angle of the shaft. At first glance, let's go start getting some few putts here. I was looking at it thinking, that's quite aggressive, that, isn't it? Like, look at that there. I was thinking, how on earth is that gonna work? Because it's a bit odd. Like, I've seen putters like this before. Think about it. Most putters go into the heel. We do have some center shafted putters. We have, anybody remember this putter, by the way? The strike back from Odyssey. That was, I thought, was probably one of the weirdest positions for a neck on a putter I'd ever seen until that. So I'm dying to do this. I'm dying to hit some putts. One thing I would say is the weight is very nice. It's heavy. And I would say this, I did adopt to choose, and when I got this and bought this, for the heavy version, because I like a heavy putter. I don't know if anybody else is in the same boat there, but I like a heavy putter. I'm just gonna hit these three away and get a first vibe. That is so odd, you know? That is so odd. The shaft being there, it feels like I'm not gonna know what to do with it. It feels like it's a bit weird. Anyway, let's talk, Alex. Let's hit this one away. That sounded like an old ping, you know? And it's weird. The best way I can describe that, I mean, I can't argue. It feels like you're hitting it out the heel of a putter, is what I would describe that as. Oh my. What is happening here? They are genuinely the first two putts I have ever hit with that. Like, the way I describe it is, imagine you were trying to hit a putt out the heel of your putter. That's coming out the middle. What the f is going on? I need to hit one more, see just that. I mean, that is weird. If I get this in, I'm going to, well, yeah, use your imagination on what I'm going to do. Right. I've done it. Oh, one more roll and that was it. One more roll and that was in. Okay, so there are a few medium length putts. Let's try a few of these shorter ones. I still can't believe that. Genuinely can't believe that. It did feel weird. So let me give you a bit of feedback. Look at this closely. I think this is sort of the ideas that we're going back. And interestingly, I think what they've done here is quite cool in the sense of you can choose some of your own branding in the back if you want. I've not chosen anything, just gone sort of standard. But they trust in this weird, quirky idea so much that if you don't like it after 30 days, you can send it back and get your money back. That is a super bold claim. I don't know any company that does that. Imagine Odyssey doing that now. Imagine Scotty Cameron. You buy it, tough luck, you sell it next, you gotta sell it and you lose money. They trust in that this much that they would give you your money back. Your money back. Okay, now a few things that I would say is really quite interesting. Does anybody remember Seymour putters? I had one as a kid. They had like alignment aids on it. We had to cover up the red with the shaft. I'm sort of getting that vibe here. Like, look at this on player cam. So this is really interesting. This is what I was thinking straight away. Like, I can see, and it's a bit like a Seymour, you've got to make sure the shaft is like directly in line with this bit right here, because I think of like the placement of where the shaft goes into the head. You can clearly see if it's open, right, like that, and you can clearly see if it's closed. It looks really bizarre, whereas that right there is square. Like that right there is sort of where we want it to be, and that's really weird. Right, okay, I need to hit some of these short putts now. I need to hit some of these short putts. The other thing I would say is I like to have a little bit of a forward shaft lead. I'm not really sure where my hands should go. I feel personally that I've got to have them a bit more in the middle. And right, okay, here we go. Let's hit 3 short putts. Not quite as good, that one. Let's go again. Okay, I thought I was going to hold these. I'm not going to lie. Let's go. Okay, I don't know if that was me misreading the putt. I need to hit some more of them. I actually thought I hit 3 decent putts, only hold 1. And it's starting to get a little bit easier to understand how this sort of is moving. But what are your initial thoughts on it? Would you grab this out the bag? Because I'm sure, right, you get this out the bag, it's going to turn some heads and people will be like, what the heck have you got going on here? Now, have a look at this. We've got this little milled. So this is like a milled face. And it's sort of like a, I guess, a hexagon, not hexagon, a square cross design, sort of dimple pattern to sort of give you, I guess their point is, a better roll on the golf ball. Now the sound, I keep thinking about this, it is reminding me of the old style ping because of that brass material I've chosen here. Brass material. Most putters aren't made of brass these days, but you can see it's a lot more high pitched. Right, I want to hit 3 more short putts before going long putts. But it's got me really intrigued, I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's see if we can actually hold these ones. I'm really concentrating on making sure, like I said before, that face and everything is square with that shaft. Doesn't it just look bizarre where that's going in? I feel like I'm closer to the golf ball than I would normally as well. And that's why the shaft angle was really interesting me at the start of this video. Oof, side door. Now, let's talk price point. Because for the price of this, you could get a Scotty Cameron. And I ask you the question, get down below in the comments right here, would you go Scotty Cameron over this? I don't think you would. $295 for this putter. Now, the only reason I don't think you would is, 1, because it's not a brand that we've heard of before. 2, because it's maybe a little bit too quirky. But then if you tried it for 30 days, hold more putts, got more comfortable, is it something then you would just keep and keep and keep for years and years and years? And before you know it, it becomes an old faithful. Because I've got some comments here that I found online. I think it's really interesting that I want to show you and read through. Okay, I'm starting to get a good idea of what this actually is doing, the shaft. They were 3 for 3. That, I'll be honest with you, is what I thought. In my mind now, because of this shaft placement, you've all heard about arcs of stroke, haven't we? Where should you arc it, shouldn't you arc it? I feel like on this putter that it's forcing me to be a bit more straight back, straight through. And the only way I can think that that's happening is because of that shaft placement. And I would also add into that the angle. But what's very, very clever is my first thought on this, and that's why I was a bit worried about this putter, is I thought it'd be quite flimsy in here. I thought it would be quite flimsy and like, why would it be there? Like, it's not going to be very responsive. It's not going to be very good on that off-center heel hit, but I've hit a few sort of around here and it's still gone just as good. That's what was really worrying me. The fact of the placement of the shaft and it feeling a bit weak and a bit odd behind there. But yeah, $295, that's a lot. Going back to that personalization, it would, I think, I've seen it on a few of them, go in here. I don't personally like to do it on my putters. I like it on my wedges, and my wedges have got my dog's and my daughter's name on it. Dogs and daughter's name, yeah. Dog's and daughter's name on my wedges, which is really quite cool. But I guess it's like something that's, I guess, nice to have. Now for the comments. The really interesting bit. It really, I get so fascinated with this because on putters like this, there is no hiding if it's bad. Okay, so the first one here, Eric, said, what I love most about this putter is the balance. The stroke is so smooth, there's never any bounce. Every putt is a smooth roll. you know what, I'm interested in that on a long putt. We've got to hit some long putts. On the short and the medium, it did happen, but I would say this, as you make a longer stroke, there's more of a chance of a little bit of skid and bounce. So that is going to be interesting. I have to say though, that face does feel like it's giving you a smooth roll. And it's actually quite thick, those dimples too, which is not something I've really seen too much before. Okay, that's one. Wow, this is a big one. Ooh. This putter has changed my game. It's helped me get to a single-digit handicap. The quality of the putter and the feel is second to none. I have never been more confident in draining putts. Very, very interesting. Now, interestingly, that was with the lighter, the 335 gram putter. And I reached this final one here. I've just chosen these at random, by the way. I've noticed a significant improvement in my short game with more putts sinking than ever before. The sleek design, comfortable grip is a joy on the green. I'd highly recommend this putter to elevate their performance. So there really wasn't any negative ones there. And for something that looks like that, I guess I just need to hit now some longer putts. Because as I mentioned a minute ago, that's where you could get some skid and roll. I'm loving the weight of this, you know. I'm absolutely loving the weight of it. I'm so glad I went for I think it's 355 grams, this one is the heavier one. The 335 is the sort of the light one. But this is the heavier one. And the black into the gold, or the gold colour, the brass head, looks really good. And I'm definitely sure on that idea that it does make you feel that you're keeping that face square and you're keeping that shaft in the same place. You can really see if these hands are getting manipulated here by yourself. Okay, here we go, long putt. I'm interested in this. That's a beautiful roll. I've just absolutely blasted it. God, that's horrific. What am I doing? I forgot. Like, it is downwind. Look at my hair. Let's try and... It was a really good roll, though. It was a really good roll. Okay, here we go. Better one. That's beautiful. That's rolling way more than I thought. Like, I've hit that like I would normally, and I feel like it's getting like a bit of an extra roll, hence why I can't really control that. What the hell? Like, I'm dead surprised at that. Oh. Okay, come on. Let's take a little bit off then. That was beautiful. That's in. That's in. I call it. Oh, tell you what, that really felt like that ball was just going like end over end over end and didn't really leave the ground. Let's just see if we can make these coming back. But what are your thoughts on it? Would you be bold enough to take them up on that 30-day and go, you know what, yeah, whoa, okay. Oh, right, okay. That was a decent putt. Let's see if we can hold this one coming back. Tell you what, they were all really, really good putts. Really good cut putts. Right, well, that's it. Let's rate it out of 10. Now, I'm actually quite surprised at this. I saw it and I thought, a little bit of a gimmick, but I'd give that an 8 out of 10. Like, the only reason I think it would stop people using it is because it looks very strange. But saying that, so does L.A.B golf. They don't look like the most normal thing. But yeah, quite pleasantly surprised. Thanks for watching.